Okay. No, I don't want to learn more. Go away. Hello, guys. I'm eating samosa. It's really salty. Not sure I'm crazy about that, to be honest. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Louise. Hi, John. How's it going, everyone? Hello, Wilson Project. This is not supposed to be a mukbang, but it's turning into one. Hey, Corey. Interesting. Okay. Whoop. Nope. Don't eat that. Okay. So, hey, Kala. Hey, Aaron. So apparently I can't have mods on here. Okay. So, everybody behave. Okay. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Let's see if I love how if I look on my computer to see whether to see how good the stream and the the bitrate is, it just says bad. It's bad. It's terrible. You should just stop. Hi, Wild Salami. Welcome. Yeah, you like that? I couldn't because I didn't want it to be, I mean, I don't monetize my videos because I don't see the point, really. But I didn't want to get it, dinged or whatever because you can see her nipples. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna not do that. See if I can do... Can you guys let me know in the chat if it starts to buffer or lag or do anything weird like that? Just let me know. Yo, Sarge is here. It's good so far. Thanks, Pete. So as long as it's good, just give me 1 second. I want to see if this works if I do it. Yo, there's... What's everybody... Yo, bro. Hi, Matthew. But if it does get bad, if the bitrate starts going crazy... I don't know why I said it like that. When it starts going crazy, let me know. Yeah, it's been a day. Hey, Lacey. Okay, it's much better over here. So, why does it not let me... Oh, now I can. Oh, I can't do it on my phone. Got it. Okay. So, sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Aaron, where are you? Oh, here's Aaron. Okay, good. Now we can begin. So what did I get? I got food, and we were talking about this in my Discord. And yeah, so in my Discord, we were talking about what we're gonna eat today. So there were quite a few of you said that you're getting Chinese food, and I decided to get Indian food. So I got a samosa. You know why, Kala? Because I can only do it from my computer. As you can see, my face is right there. Sarge, don't. Seriously, frig off. You're eating pizza. Great. What kind of pizza do you eat? Because I'm always excited to know what kind of pizza people eat. This is legit so salty. It's from a place called My Roti Place. So I think it's They may be chicken, no veggies. What's wrong with you? Guys, your pizza is spinach, mushrooms, and cheese. Delicious. Delicious. What's everybody else eating? I guess some of you are like on different time zones, so you're not necessarily eating dinner right now. You had crappy steak and shake and you won't eat. What's steak and shake? Is that some American sorcery that we don't have here? Oh, that was an onion. You had Canadian bacon pizza with the fam. Very cool. It's 1:30 and so you don't eat. Okay, fair. Not even ice cream? Late night ice cream? Steak and shake is fast food 50 style aesthetic in the diner, but fast food. Ooh, you know me in the 50s. Ryan, why haven't you eaten yet? Come on. And you have to tell us what you ate or you're going to eat. So it's just like burgers, fries, like shakes and stuff. Hot dogs. You can feed me white rice? Are you supposed to? You ate too much ice cream already. Oh yeah, I feel that. You had a rack of lamb, John? Damn. You fancy. Sorry, just stress licking right now, and I don't know why. Why are you stress licking? There's nothing to be stressed about. As I yell at you. Hey, Denny. See, this is much, I don't know what it is about Twitch. The cat wants to try your food. Give him some. When I ate lunch earlier today, I made bok choy and then like an omelet. It's random, but I was like, oh, I don't feel like going out and getting anything, so I'll just make something really quickly. So I put my plate down for literally like 2 seconds, and this fuck button, excuse my language, this mother father over here just took a little chunk, and it has green onions in it, right? Which apparently is not necessarily poisonous to cats, but it's generally not good for them. I don't know. I immediately was like, oh my god, he's gonna die because he ate a green onion. You're on a diet? Thank you, miasma. I appreciate that. The type of foods that you can't stand to eat. Oh, well, there aren't many foods that I don't like, to be honest. Yeah, like as long as it's vegetarian and it tastes, I'm not a really big fan of spicy food, like super spicy, and so I've been trying, and as my Discord people know, I've been trying to really like work up my taste buds to a more spicy profile. That was a really convoluted way to say that. But because I'm planning on going to South Korea in October/November, and Koreans love, hey Erica, I wished you happy birthday. I don't know if you saw that in Discord, but I don't have your Twitter, so I couldn't say it to everyone. Yeah, so I've been working up to that spicy profile as much as possible because Koreans love spicy food. And I have a feeling because I'm vegetarian and they love seafood and meat, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more adventurous. I did, Erica. I did. And I was like, I wish I had your Twitter because I don't have it. And I was looking at my spreadsheet. I'm like, oh my god, I don't have her Twitter. I can't say it. So I just said it in Discord. Sorry. But everybody wish Erica a happy birthday. Get bent. Yeah. So. Oh, you don't have Twitter. Okay, no problem. Yeah, her birthday was on the 2nd of June. Correct me if I'm wrong, Erica. naan is good. Yeah, we got, who's our next birthday? Well, I think Kala. You may be our next birthday. Inside this, Corey? Hey, Jerry. I don't have anything Indian to drink, just water. And I don't think I've actually eaten Russian food. Like, yeah, I don't, like, does kasha count? That's probably not Russian food at all. Oh, it's just potato and some spicy goodness. There's some cumin in here, or sorry, coriander, the seeds. So it's quite pungent. There's definitely some turmeric in here. It's delicious. Erica knows my birthday. Woo! Yes, I'm November 16th. Kasha sucks, dude. It has a very particular smell. And I remember I was like trying out different things, and so my coworker that I worked with was Ukrainian, and she's just like, have you ever had kasha before? Because we were talking about breakfast food. She's like, you should try kasha. Denny? What? What? Do not sully Coriander's name. Hey, David! Bonjour, bonsoir. Hey, Steve. Red Shade. Glad to see the Twitch people coming over here. For people that hate coriander, it tastes like soap. But to me, it tastes like the elixirs of the gods. Ça va très bien. Merci. Et tu? Really, Sarge? Still gross. Denny, you're cut. You're cut, girl. You're cut. I'm like obsessed with coriander. Or whatever. You like the new t-shirts? I've been wearing C'est la weekend. Oui. It's the best time. Denny, only love, my girl. Only love. Kasha is like kindergarten food. Grown-ups don't eat this. Oh, yeah, okay. Fair. Fair. But it was so... It was very, had a lot of flavor. Aaron, I was thinking of actually buying long sleeve t-shirts. They had some, the supplier that I get them from, they had some interesting ones. And I'm like, I like this. It's interesting. And like, I wanted to buy maybe a little bit better quality shirts too. Like American Apparel ones or something like that. Because the Gildan ones are fine, but... And then I'm also experimenting with using different ink too, which is like making, I don't know if you you guys, like, are nerds about this kind of thing, but I am. Yeah, I really like it too. So the shirt that I made you has that. Or the sweater I made you has that. Yeah, Callie, you can join Corey. I messaged Corey. I'm like, Corey, so, what do you mean, you people? Sarge? Sarge is like, oh yeah, love me some naan. I also got naan. It's the buttery naan. Of course, he loves butter. You guys didn't know. Is somebody leaving? Naan. I had to close my window because it's like, sorry, I know I'm making everybody hungry. Stop it! Naan is just like a flatbread it's like an unleavened bread, and then they will put it in like a tandoori oven, I think. And usually it's like brushed with unclarified butter, and it's delicious, and Sarge loves it. Look at him. He's like, yeah. So no new apartment story. Thank you for asking. I ended up getting the apartment that I applied for. And by the way, Corey, I wore this shirt just for you. I know, Matthew, totally, 100%. Curry and naan. Oh. And no sleeves, yeah. Fuck sleeves. Because sleeves are banned. Yeah, I'm super excited. Stop it! This place is nice and in a safe area. Like, I mean, for me, that's always a big thing. And I was telling some people in Discord that I was thinking of getting an alarm system and like going a little crazy. He's literally following it with his head. Like, I don't know if you can't see him, but maybe I can just show it. Sorry if my hand is covering. Oopla. That got really heated. Because as I was turning it, he went for it. I'm telling you, Sarge is the smartest cat. Because he knew I was preoccupied away from the food, so he went for it. He didn't get a chunk, but, you know. So then I was like, holy shit, no! And then it interrupted the stream. So, yo, what are you doing, bro? I thought I saw a piece of food hanging from his mouth, but anyway. Okay. It's just Lint, yeah. I mean, stop it, Sarge. I feed you. I don't understand why you're being so like, oh, you don't feed me, so I'm just gonna eat your food. Sarge did break the internet. He's good at that. Oh my god, I'm sweating so badly right now. He's not greedy. He's Sarge. I don't know. Like, I don't know. He's such a... I don't think I've ever met a cat like him. Like... No, I'm sweating because I had to close my window. Because outside of my... Like, I'm in a building and then there's a courtyard. In the courtyard, there's this huge fountain, right? And the fountain is really loud. So I don't know if you can hear it, but... I was like, shit, I don't want people to sit there and like, I can't hear you because of this loud ass fountain. So I can maybe, I'm gonna open it. I'll be back. Is the guy with the flag and the screaming, oh my god, that guy. That was seriously scary, man. And I didn't actually share, maybe I can share the picture. I can share it with the Discord people. I don't really want anyone to pee their pants while watching. Unless you're watching this while you're peeing, which is completely acceptable. Okay, I'm gonna open it. There's my kids. I haven't named them yet, actually. You don't hear it? Good. Sorry. You can actually hang them, too. They are very, please don't pee well balanced. Fair. It is super creepy. Yeah. And hello, Oliver, right? Yes, Oliver. Decapitus. Destroyer of Worlds. It's a, yeah, it's a, you know, I got these for free. I was like very, hi, Soupy. Right? I got these for free, and anyone that knows me knows I'm obsessed with mannequins and obsessed with forms that are not really people, if that makes sense. I got this one. I traded it for a bottle of wine, tofu, and what else? Cat food. Hi, Mandy. Thank you so much. Yes, this one was Buns. This is through Buns Trading Zone for the app. You guys don't have Buns in the US, and I'm sure it'll come there eventually. But this one, my friend works at what is Oshkosh? I think Oshkosh. And he's like, yeah, I have these kid mannequins. Do you want them? I'm like, yes. Can you describe what this 2 heads and a plus t-shirt means? Oh, so I had that originally on Human Conditional. And again, it's playing with that whole like more human than human thing where I'm obsessed with humanoid things, like things that represent humans but they aren't really. And so this was my play on having like multiple consciousnesses. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. And how it, you know, the plus just means like more one within one within one within one. Actually, it's from Blade Runner. So that whole aspect of replicants, and you know, if you've read, oh my God, the name is escaping. Wow, that food! I'm telling you, it's just hit me. Yeah, like it's just playing on that idea of multiple consciousness, interconnectedness of minds and things like that. So one is facing one way, the other is facing another. And originally I had it like multiple minds in minds. So yeah, I don't know if that's a very good explanation, but do androids dream? Thank you, Jane. God, the name completely escaped me. So yeah, you will see with the new Amphibious Assault record, we'll also have a continuation of this multiple realities and the fusing of humans and machines and things like that. It's very... Hi, Wilson. Thank you for stopping by. I burped. So you'll see that, yeah, that it's a continuing theme that I have. And so this one I wanted to keep as like a logo. And I also think it looks really cool. So, oh yeah, Matthew. Yeah. That is what, well, partially what my Patreon campaign is about. And I'll do a little shameless plug. So pretty much all of what I get from that, from you guys, from a lot of people actually that are in here are patrons, which I will give a huge shout out to all of you. Thank you so very much for your support. Pretty well, I'm working towards the goal, which will be half of the recording costs of, recording as well as putting together all the, you know, like the design of the CD, and I have had multiple requests for vinyls to be printed, but vinyl is very expensive, so I was like, okay. So I'd like to do that as well as part of the whole kit and caboodle. So, oh, and slated release date for September of 2019. That's what I'm planning on doing, having everything done. But yeah, that's, yeah. So yeah, and then oh, thank you so much, Matthew. So, and aside from Patreon being something that will work towards supporting that record, which I have a name for it, but I don't know if I want to say it yet. Not that it's not really a big deal. But anyways, part of that also is creating community, which was a big thing for me, was because I noticed that I had the same people supporting me for 10, 15 years. And I think my supporters or fans are really community-based people. So I thought that that would be a good thing to do, especially having that Discord integration is very, it's excellent. It's just, I'm so happy Discord exists. It's fantastic because, so I was saying to Corey today, one of our mods here, that I love the fact that I can just message you guys and ask, like, hey, you know, what do you think of this? Or you know, I'm making a shirt for people right now, or, you know, so that I can just ask you, like, what do you prefer? Instead of just, you know, and really it's super important to me to create things and do things that people want, which seems like a no-brainer, but you know. And yeah, and then I'll talk also a little bit about the tiers, and I know that DJM just talked about some of the perks that you get with that. Well, the Discord I think is like one of the best things, because you can talk to me or to any of the community any time of the day pretty much, because we have people from all over the world, from France, from New Zealand, from Germany, Scotland, like all over. And I love that there's always at least somebody, someone is usually always around, and I'm as accessible as I can be, of course. So yeah, and I think the Discord is one of the big things there. Some of the higher tiers get some personalized merch. So some of the so from earlier incarnations. Okay, see you later, Al. Oh, I know you're in Scotland, right? Yes. So yeah, some of the higher tiers get personalized merch, and so some of the earlier incarnations of the merch was, you know, themes, because a lot of the tiers, well, all movies and shows and things that I love. So for example, you know, Bomac Lights is the lowest level. It's $1. And that is, you know, like, I think it's, yeah, I did it based on Dragon Age, because this is my favorite video game. And then each tier adds a little bit more on there, and I'm grateful and, well, really grateful for anything, that any support, even if it's just to give me a follow, to follow what I'm doing or whatever. That to me is amazing. And just showing up to streams like this, you know, saying hello over at Twitch as well, that to me makes this all worth it. So there's absolutely no pressure, but you know, it is what it is. Being an artist these days, very difficult. This is the chalice of truth. It's here. So, no problem, Victoria. Thanks so much for stopping by. The chalice of truth. Yeah, I try and, like, yeah. I'm usually, I will have Discord open, but not always interacting. But like, you guys all have my email, I think, so you can email me anytime. I'm pretty open. Yes, please follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever. That is showing your support that way is amazing. You don't have to do it with, there's absolutely no obligation to do any of that. But you know, showing up to this, that is also amazing. And yeah, And if you enjoy video games, you should go to Twitch, watch me run into walls and terribly drive. I found an email I sent you years ago. Oh, really, Erica? That's really funny because Corey said the same thing today. Oh, you missed the Twitter poll, Corey. Trapped Ash. What's up? Yes, this is my, did I tell the story? Well, most of the people that, when I told the story, the Chalice to Truth, it's, you would have voted horchata anyways. Oh, the horchata guy, I think I saw him go by the building when I was outside shaking, which you're not supposed to do this, but I was outside shaking mats. And I'm like, oh, there's the horchata guys here. Spanish horchata, not Mexican horchata. So yeah, I love my little top knot. Bonk, bonk. You can, Sarge. Oh, Sarge fucked off. He's on my bed. I love how you can see the Dino computer. My friend was telling me Life is Strange 2 is bad, but I haven't gotten to episode 2 or 3, so I'm trying to keep, yeah. I've heard the same thing, but I'm still, still so shook from the first one that I really just want to see what they're gonna do. I remember you having a conversation on FB when I was trying to figure out the lyrics to one of your songs. It was like 10 years ago. Oh God. Yeah, my lyrics make no sense. And I'm even having like issues now with some of the, like hi Salami, did I say hello to you? Yeah, it's Spanish horchata, because I asked him and he's just like, it's Spanish horchata. I'm like, sorry? I actually don't know anything about regular horchata, like Mexican horchata even, so yeah. So he's like, it's from Valencia. Just you're streaming. Am I late? You are not late, Jet. You're good. Everything's fine. Say hello to everyone. Welcome. Did you play the free one yet? Adventures of Captain Spirit. Huh? What's this? Ooh, Kraftwerk vinyl albums. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, what was I saying? So there's one song that I was busy kind of like finishing up. It's none of these songs are ever really done, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write lyrics to this now, and then I'm like, ugh, it's so, I hate it. It's a prequel to Life is Strange 2, really? Huh. No, I haven't even heard of it. Like I didn't even know that the rest of the rest of the episodes for 2 came out. And so then when it told me, I was like, I'm buying it. I don't care. I want to play it. Yes, he was definitely like, it's from Valencia, okay? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Uncharted. Chloe. When you write, do lyrics come first or music? Always music first for me. I've done it once as an experiment to do lyrics first and then, and it just felt wrong to me. Uncharted was amazing, but yeah, it just felt weird because it was like, but I need like the music to inspire me and to inspire the melody and whatnot. I don't know, every person that writes music is different, but for me, that's how it goes. Cal, I knew you'd be like, Chloe. Can you freestyle rap? No. I am not a rapper, unfortunately. I wish I was, though. The sneaky murder game, absolutely. It is 100% one of those. Music should make a mood for lyrics to me. Yeah, see? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you. Oh, are you talking to me? I don't know if you're talking to me. You talking to them? You talking to them? Can you rap anything? Would Patreon that too? Oh my God. Yeah, because once I hit my goal, I'm at 80% away from my goal. Yeah, you can request something for me to rap, and I still have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Along with, she probably raps along to MGK. I'm sorry, guys. He is hot as fuck. I was just saying. I told somebody that, and they're like, "Ew." I'm like, what do you want from me? Cover some New Kids on the Block. He's 6'4". Okay, I did not think he was that tall. I mean, tall. We all know that's not tall enough for me. How did Tears in Rain come about? Sorry, I just missed that. Let me just go, boy. Oh, for fuck's. Jane Bob. So Tears in Rain the name came from the movie, like from the quote. And I was talking about this earlier today about how sometimes I just hear certain sound bites and I'm like, okay, yeah, that needs to be in a song somewhere. And then the way the lyrics came obviously after the music, but then the addition of that quote, which has been used, or sorry, that little speech has been used in like a million songs, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautifully written and so representative of like what Roy had seen. He's, you know, what he was feeling and like how he deserved to be, you know, he deserved more than what he felt. He deserved more than just that short time of life. And he's like, I've seen so many things and like, and now I'm gonna die. and it relates kind of to what the song is about. So I don't know if that made any sense, but you want me to do Boys in the Hood? Can you have Ice-T guest rap on my new record? I don't know if he would even know. Probably not. I like Tall Boys, but I do not think Ek. I'm glad I was able to help you with your food choice, Denny. Can you do a version of Choke, Chris? Can you do a version of Choke acoustic version as a special track? I don't know if I can do that. I'll answer it that way. Definitely. Why are tears and tears the same? But then there's also tears. Don't ask, man. Don't ask. Because English makes no sense in a lot of ways. Eight and eight. Yeah. What else is there? There's so many. There's so many. And like I really feel for second language speakers of English, because it's like, what? How does that even make sense? And there's sometimes absolutely no explanation for why it is. It just is. And then when I learned other languages, I'm like, oh God, we are fucked up. Oh, thanks, Kala, for posting that. High kick and sports goth. It is a train, so you can hear the train. God damn it. Sorry, guys. yeah, I mean, getting those little subtle differences, and I think it also depends on what your first language is to say that though, David. I've been meaning to ask about sports goth. Is that still a trend? I think it is. I've seen more people wear those, and I remember that in high school these were also a thing as well. Those Fila shoes. I remember like an incarnation of that being a thing back in the day, and we would wear that with like spiky collars, and like it was really, sports goth is just like a mix between like wearing sportswear, so Champion or what was it? Champion, Adidas, Puma, but then you would mix it with like goth stuff. So spikes, gauntlets, like that was a thing. Like we would totally do that. I have pictures, I have proof. So yeah, that's sports goth was something that we rocked in the early days. We being like my group of friends. It's, yeah, and then we would wear, it would be black usually, and then like, you know, big pants mixed with sportswear brands. Hence, sports goth. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I think it had a lot to do with Korn, probably. Like, we were goth kids, but we loved Korn at the same time, and Korn, as you know, at the time was like all about Adidas, right? So yeah, that was a time. But I have seen some kids actually wearing that style, of like this weird mixture of clothing, but then also there are some raver elements in there as well. Raver style was also a thing that we did too. Big fun fur pants and like rainbows and things, like, yeah. It was a look. And I saw a guy on the subway, was it 2 weeks ago? And I was like, holy sh! It was a sports raver goth, kind of, just like a mixture of like, cause he had like all of these bracelets up to about here on both, well, no, I think he had it only on one arm, but anyway, and then a big Adidas sweater and huge like fun fur pants with like this really long plastic chain, like, yeah, that was definitely the style. We rocked that. My friend used to wear bright orange parachute pants. Yep, that was definitely the style. Did you get his digit spray? If I find him, I will. But he looked more like the people that do like jump style. I don't know if you know what that is, but like, you know, the people that dance jump style and like film it, and they like listen to Scooter. That's kind of what his style reminded me of, was like, you know. Yes! Fair warning, I've had a fair... Ooh, Calla! Get loosey-goosey. Okay, so David knows who Scooter is. That's good. I think he's the only one that does. I was the one who wore all chain. Yeah, feel that. Mind you, I'm black in the hood, 20 years old. Fair. I remember this very, very vividly, and it was like so scarring for me. I went to Florida every year since I was like, I don't know, like 8 years old. We went to Florida, and the last time I went was when I was 13, and I had borrowed, and I don't know if you guys remember this shirt, but Korn had come out with a shirt that was a black t-shirt with like a doll kind of thing, and it was all like, this was in 1998, by the way, so 97 or 98, and the doll is all like, whatever, and this has Korn, Anyway, so I was like full on into corn kid life at this time, and I was 13 years old. It was actually Morgan's shirt. I borrowed Morgan's shirt. And I'm wearing it, and we were staying at some resort somewhere, and I'm walking around like black makeup, whatever. And I remember like being the only brown person like amongst all of these people, and I just looked really out of place, and like there were like a group of guys, like group of black guys looking at me like, what the fuck, girl? And I'm like, I'm a goth, shut up. It made me feel so terrible and so awesome at the same time, because I looked like a these poor guys, like they were nice, but they were just, yeah, they were giving me some hard, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, girl? I'm like, I'm freaky. Yeah, you don't see many brown people who are goths, although Angola, of all places, has a very, very thriving goth scene. You believe the 90s are the best? Yeah, the 90s were pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, like, they don't get it. They're like, what is this devil music? Hey, Becky. It's, yeah, but yeah, it is 100% random, but Denny, for real, like, they have amazing goth bands there, amazing. And so they have like this weird, like, sort of burgeoning, oh, and then I was reading somewhere else, another, was it Ghana? Ghana also has a great metal scene, but yeah, you know. I want to go to Ghana. I'm gonna start a band. In my area, what? I had a black friend once. Oh, Satan? Really? That's weird. Oh, we all went through the cold chamber phase. Scream queen. Scream queen. Scream screen. That's a mouthful. My God. We all went through a cold chamber phase. I did, for sure. I think there were a couple of pictures of me in like the high school. Yeah, I think, well, because I was only really in high school for 2 years. Anyway, so then there's only like one picture of me, like my grade 9 or 9th grade, freshman, whatever you want to call it, is me wearing wearing a Lacoste sweater and like corduroy pants, because I was still like, you know, really, really, really into like, you know, I don't know, grunge and stuff. So, and then you can see in my grade 10 picture, I think I was wearing a, what was I wearing? Oh, a black t-shirt and a huge dog collar. How much a year changes. Yeah. I go to the jukebox at bar and play metal. Everyone says, did you play that? No way. Girl, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. They're like, oh, you listen to metal? Really? At work, I would get that all the time. They're like, oh, you don't look like the type that would listen. I'm like, what exactly type do I have to be? Do I have to not be brown? Is that what you're saying? Like, sorry. Yeah. It always used to boggle my mind when people say that to me. And I'm like, because they have most of the people that I work with had no idea I was in a band. They don't give a shit. They don't care. But when I tell them, like, yeah, I used to play in a band like a while ago, and they're like, cool, what kind of band was it? I'm like, oh, it was a metal band. And they're like, metal band? What? Oh, God. And then it just turns into like, yeah. Do you remember a band called 40s Failure? No, I don't. She didn't disappear. She's still good. Tillena's good. Everything's fine. She's working. She's just not in music anymore. The brown, okay, my pants were not, were they brown? Yes, they were brown, but they were like the thin corduroy. There was one place actually, one vintage store that had like legit 60s bell-bottom corduroy pants. So Mercedes and I would go there. We were like 13, and we would go to this place. We would save up all of our money to go buy corduroy pants at this place. And inside smelled like, I don't know. Oh, you're back with your food. It smelled like Nag Champa. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a incense. So all the clothes smelled like that. And it was this, oh, it was amazing. This place was so great. And her and I would just be like, oh, we want all the shirts. Yeah. Did Kitty tour Australia for the first record? No, we did not. No, they did it on the second one when I wasn't there. Damn. I will show my age and say one of the best gigs. Whoa, I can't read. Oh, shit. I never got to see, well, I got to see them when we toured with them, but I feel like getting to see Pantera prior to Ozfest would have been much more, would have been much better, maybe. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, they were amazing on Ozfest, like amazing. But I feel like, you know, seeing them during their earlier records would have been cool. Somebody had a question. Did Kitty tour? Yes, actually they opened for us, which is so weird. I'm like, why are they opening for us? Okay. Yeah, so like Far Beyond or like any early ones, but yeah, Tara is badass. I love that girl. She's great. Tour with Killswitch. Can't say I've ever listened to their music. That happens a lot though. That doesn't mean anything really. It doesn't mean that I don't like them. It's just I'm very picky when it comes to listening to heavy music, and like I will rarely seek out new bands when it comes to heavy music. So if it's a band that I've listened to before, then I will maybe listen to it, but generally I'm not gonna seek out new heavy stuff. The singer is really? Killer cover of Holy Diver. Best gig I ever went to would be a Stone Sour gig in 2007. So much energy. I would say, what's his name? Corey. Oh my God. Hey, Polyphusia. Welcome. Corey told me once that he used to be in a GNR cover band. And he has this oh, hey, Noah. This incredible voice. Incredible. And I'm just like, so how did you go from like, you know, GNR to Slipknot, and then he's just like, yeah, I don't know, you know, he's like, I like heavy music too, but I'm like, Corey, you have an amazing voice though. Like you really can sing. And like, and it's a voice with like so much emotion and like, you know. I will say though, who's into yoga? What? No, computer, don't die. I missed this. Who's talking about yoga? Okay, computer, you win. I forget my password, whatever. Cannibal Corpse is good also, still rocking. I saw Cannibal Corpse, did I see? No. Did I see Cannibal Corpse? I can't see it. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, so, yeah, Corey Corey is an amazing, amazing, amazing singer. And not just screamer. I'm saying singer. Like, he can sing. And it blew me away when I was like, holy shit, like you can actually sing. I'm not saying that like metal singers can't sing, but a lot of them scream very well, but they don't sing. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking. Please tell us you don't like Nickelback. What? Did I say that I liked them? Oh my god, I literally cannot. Whatever, I'll just deal with it later. What was I saying? I think that was one thing is interesting somebody was saying about like yoga or whatever, and working out. Prior to us doing the reunion show, like everyone was like, do you guys like just spend all your time working out? Because like, which is kind of true, because like, yeah, it's pretty much all I was doing at that time, was just going to the gym. Hi Cece, how was being in the Angel's Son video? It's so funny because I don't remember. I don't remember what it was like, because it was just like a very weird, because I didn't also know them very well, like anybody else, and I didn't know Lynn personally, so I got to meet his mom, and I was like, I'm really sorry for your loss, and whatnot, and it was awkward, because I felt like I didn't deserve to be there, because I didn't know him, and I didn't know, like, everybody kind of grew up with him, right, and it, you know, it felt kind of weird, but at the same time, it was an honor to be asked, or for us to be asked to be part of that, so, yeah. I got to meet, what's his name from Sugar Ray? we were all like, it's the guy from Sugar Ray! He's so hot! He was super hot in person, not gonna lie. Mark, thank you, Mark McGrath. I couldn't remember his name. Did Mick ever end up talking to the band? Oh, okay, so really, this is a funny story. So, fast forward to like 2008. I get a call from Talina. Talina's like, hey, so Slipknot's playing tonight in Toronto. Joey just called me. Do you want to go see them? I'm like, yeah, of course. And so my partner at the time happened to be there, so we went and saw their show. It was incredible, as always. And so we're hanging out backstage, and so like it was basically a big stadium, right? So in these stadiums, usually they have the like hockey rooms or whatever. What do you call that? Dressing rooms. The hockey locker rooms turned into the dressing room. So we're just kind of hanging out like, yeah, this is kind of awkward. And my partner at the time is like not really into metal, but like he liked it. So in walks Mick after he had taken a shower. So he's like, his hair is all like wet and whatever. And so he comes in and he turns and he looks at me. He recognizes me, but I don't think he was putting two and two together until he came over and saw that I was talking with Craig. Craig is the spiky-haired guy. I don't know what his mask is now, but at the time it was the spikes. So he comes over and he's like, I should know you, I think he said. I should know who you are, but I don't. You look familiar. And so then I'm like, well, you know what? I don't think we actually really talked, but we toured together for like 3 months. And he's like, oh! He's like, weren't you like fucking 12? I was like, no. I was 16, thank you. He's like, well, you still look 12, so like, thanks. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so that was like super awkward. And then they invited us to go like party afterwards, and I'm a grandmother, so I don't party. And they don't really party either, like parties, and like even then they didn't really party really. But anyway, Joey did, but I don't know if he does anymore, but whatever. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, let's go have some drinks. I'm like, no, going home, buddy. Have a good night. But yeah, it just made me laugh because he never talked to me. Well, maybe he talked to me like a handful of times during the time that we actually toured together, but he did remember me. He remembered my face. But Joe, Katy was the female version of Silverchair. Hey, that is not a compliment, because Silverchair's fucking awesome. Still so good. Oh. Silverchair is actually one of my favorite bands of all time, so not ashamed to say that. But yeah, see, he remembered me. We never talked, but he remembered me. Like, so yeah, he didn't remember my name, which is fine. But he knew my face at least. So anyways, do I have any guitars around? My guitars are packed right now because I'm moving next week. Oh, Frog Stomp, so good. Anything, although I am much bigger fan of Neon Ballroom, but oh, are you an Aussie Scream? You should definitely join the Discord. Then we can have full down under representation. All right, buenas noches. Yeah, I am fangirling because Silverchair is magnifique. Brisbane, very nice. Welcome. So what time is it in Brisbane right now? We have a Kiwi in our Discord. 9:30 a.m. Hey, where is Kate? Goddamn Kate. El Tigre, Emotion Sickness is one of my favorite songs. Oh God, it's so, everything about that record is so fucking good. Everything from start to finish. I remember I went to like a specialist musical theater program for the latter 2 years of when I went back to high school. And so we were asked to bring in a song or a record that we thought was musically perfect. So what record did I bring in? Neon Ballroom, because I'm like, this is the most perfect record ever written, beginning to end. I thought we decided it was Saturday and we don't think she's working, but she's also working like 7 days a week. Yeah, true. She works a lot. It is yeah, I can fangirl about Silverchair for a very long time. However, my friend, I think I did actually. I tagged her in something that Daniel Johns had posted. Ew. Indian food. And he looks like straight up gangsta. He looks just like, wow. He looks very interesting. He's like he's tattooed all to hell, and like, yeah, he looks interesting. Still hot as fuck though. Not 10 feet tall though, so too bad. What do I think of OTEP? I don't think I've ever listened to her. Don't kill me. My old school had security for Silverchair when I was in high school, so got free shows out. Oh shit! I would die. I never got to meet them. I know Morgan got to meet them. Because she was an even bigger Silverchair fan than I was. And yeah. So she was just like, dude, I met them. They're amazing. They're amazing. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Because because what's funny is that night when she met them, I think, yeah, when she met them, everybody was invited to go out that night, including myself, but good night. But I was a grandmother and decided to stay at home in the hotel and sleep. And then she comes back and she's just like, guess who I met? And she told me I wanted to die. But it's okay. It's fine. Daniel and the rest of them Daniel, Chris, and Ben can just live on in my head. It's fine. Oh, love that band. Jason Donovan, I don't know who that is. Damn, Daniel. Yeah, he's like tattooed. I don't know if it was, because when I tagged my friend, I'm like, I'm actually not sure if these are his real tattoos. Like, because they're like kind of like all over the place, and I think he had some on his neck, and Morgan is a very intelligent woman. She always has been since we were kids. And she's even more intelligent now. So you're very right. Diorama making of series on YouTube is so emotional. Oh, I've never seen that. I'm gonna have to watch it. Diorama, also fantastic record. But it didn't really hit me as much as, and it's not to say that it's not as great, but it was just like the perfect mix. It was a perfect mix of the right time and the right music for me to hear at that time, if that makes sense. It's tasty. As always, these are awesome. Keep them coming. Woo! Yay! Thanks for stopping by. Have you seen the punk singer, the Kathleen Hanna? No, I haven't. There's so many things I haven't seen. Oh, Kala, you need to put your, yeah. What are your thoughts? Hi, Luna. What are your thoughts on magic and the occult? Oh, girl. I don't know if you're a girl, but oh, girl. It's interesting because I went through this phase when, I watched The Craft and automatically I was a witch. And so then I bought all these books, like magic books of all kinds with different spells and learning to be, in what it does and all this stuff. I don't really know what I was planning on doing with all of these books. I don't even know if I have any of them anymore, but yeah. I find it very intriguing. I'm not a practitioner, but I still find it incredibly intriguing. 100%. Hi, Sarge. Are you gonna come say hi? Feruza. She hot. Love her. Love her. And yes, because her magic shop was called Panpipes. And when I went to LA, I went there specifically to go to her magic shop because I wanted to see if she was there. Because I really wanted to meet her. And I'm just a huge fan of her. She's just great. And I think it was called Panpipes. Anyway, she doesn't have it anymore. I think she lives in an RV and she drives around the US being amazing. But I love that woman. Love her. But anyway, to answer your question, I don't really have, I don't practice it, but I find it intensely fascinating. Come, say hello. Oh, Jane, I know. Me too. I remember being a kid and being so freaked out by Return to Oz, but just loving it. She's definitely witchy. She, I don't know, she doesn't practice magic, though. As far as I know. I don't know if she actually does. Sarge's full name is Sergeant Ezekiel Anderson Killarney Kill Bowman. That's his full name. Right, babes? Get your ass off my computer! And points to anyone knows who Sergeant... Yeah, he's got a Killarney name, yeah. Because they needed to have some more Irish in there. Sarge, can you get off my computer, please? Thank you. Oh my god, I legit cannot remember my password right now. Yeah, I have never actually watched or listened to Witchfinger, but apparently it's really good. The podcast. Hello, my love. Are you wanting to say hello? Oops. I'm not a big fan of horror movies though, so I would be totally lost, I think, listening to the podcast, unfortunately. Ooh, Underworld. Great movie. What? Sorry, guys. I'm having like a fucking moment right now. Oh, God. How are me and Mercedes? What do you mean? Hello, my love. What are you doing? I didn't really even get to talk to her as much at the reunion. Because it was such a whirlwind time, because apparently they had set up with some people who had supported the DVD, like a lunch or something like that. I didn't end up going. But so she was busy organizing that. The new Charmed TV show? Sign me up. If you got an in, you got an in. Send it to my agent. I'm sure I was actually gonna send this casting notice that I had gotten in my email for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Not that I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but legit. Oh my god. Don't you hate that when you can't remember your password until you actually concentrate and put, thought into it? Hi, Phoebes. Phoebe Beebs. Yeah, I was gonna send it to her and be like, yo, get me on this show. It's not a show, it's a theater production, but still. I never watched Charmed. I only, I know the show, but I never watched it. Scusi. Mi scusi. Mi scusi. Was it good? Yeah, I never watched it. Yeah, it's not because I don't know. That's the one with Alyssa Milano, right? I just want to see oh, wow, I can put, look at this. This is so fancy. Scream has never seen any Game of Thrones. Oh, Kala, did you watch that video that I sent you? I watched it again once I sent it to you. I watched it again and I was just dying laughing because they are so good together. It's so funny. But then again, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was also really campy, but apparently really good, and I never watched it. Oh, thank you. I'm wearing Makeup Forever Invisible HD something something something. Oh, I'm sorry guys, you have to give me a second. I have to put my teeth back in. Sarge, entertain them. Entertain them. Be cute. Stay there. Coming back. Coming back. All right, I'm back. There's something there with no head or pants. You know what? You just made me think too. I should probably censor this too. Oh, the kids! You fell! Oh gods! Are you all right? Here we go. You're back. You're good. You're fine. Yeah, Aaron. You did that. That was all you, bro. Hi, are you back? You don't like being alone, do you? It was your mind bullets. Go. Come on. There you go. Oh, yeah. It's a pretty good turnout. Lots of people came, new people. What? Sarge, what are you doing, buddy? Huh? You like that orange, huh? Yeah. I'm desperately trying to fix, well, not fix, it's gonna be fine, but your sweater. I'm just gonna have to do it a few times. Yeah, the orange looks really good on the white shirt. If it were, I'm experimenting with different kinds of inks to maybe make it a little bit more pop in on other shirts, other colors. Okay. I'm not a parent, but I do know who she is because I watched her on Hot Ones. That girl, do you guys remember Sequest DSV? That show? Sequest DSV or Ladybugs? Remember Jonathan Brandis? Does Billie Eilish not look like Jonathan Brandis, but female? Anybody? Anyone? I loved Jonathan Brandis as a kid. And it really hurts me to see her because I'm just like, are you reincarnated Jonathan Brandis? And nobody knows who he is. She looks like Jonathan Brandis. Check it out. It's her. It's him, rather. Like, they have the same eyes, everything. Crazy. And he's been dead for years. He died in 90. I think he died, maybe he died the year she was born. Reincarnation. Conspiracy. Called it. Chalice of Truth, what do you think? Ye gods. Yes, Hunter S. Thompson. Fake news. Sarge, you're here. You're here, aren't you, babes? Yeah, you big smelly poop face. Orange and white is a reference to Sarge. Oh no, reference to this shirt. And well, tomorrow I have to go sign my lease, but I was gonna go pick up some more paint, more ink. But I think I'm gonna get the plastic-based ink. Are you cleaning? He hasn't meowed, actually. Yeah, he's been pretty quiet. Except for this morning, of course, when he was, I don't know what he was screaming about. Like, he went, like, he does a double poop sometimes, where he, like, poops, and then he walks around, and he's like, oh, wait, got more coming, and then he'll go back. And then that's where he'll start. What's my favorite conspiracy theory? Ooh, good question. God. I don't know. It is a double poop. That's what it is. That's a very good question. I don't know. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, to be honest with you. That's your favorite one, is the moon landing footage is fake? Oh, I think the JFK conspiracy, or like his whole assassination and everything, is so fascinating. I think pretty much anything that happened in the 1960s in the US was fascinating. Like that entire decade was, you know. Oh, I think I really enjoy like the theory that everyone dies at 27. They don't really die at 27. They go somewhere else. They just like change their names and like assume a new identity. I read that one somewhere. I'm like, huh, okay. So yeah, I can't really think of one off the top of my head without it sounding really stupid, but that's a good one. But anything that was pretty much happened in the 1960s was a big, huge conspiracy. Maybe. Who knows? The simulation one, I believe that one. I mean, I kind of hope that there will be a simulation where I could marry Connor from Detroit Become Human. Corey understands. The orange on the shirt looks almost as good as the orange on Sarge's princely fur. Yeah, his fur is quite... It's like... He's not quite a ginger, you know? Or Luther. I would marry Luther too, because he would be a wonderful protector. But Connor stole my heart because he's great. And you could make him 10 feet tall because he's not a human. The biggest conspiracy, the Kitty record should have gone diamond. Anybody watch Epic NPC Man on YouTube? Nope. What are you doing? Yeah. What was I saying? I forget. I forget what I was saying. Lull in conversation. Funny as hell clips by a bunch of Kiwis. Oh, very cool. I hate pop music, but I like Billie Eilish. As a person anyway, she's a funny kid. She seems weird and more palatable. Girl. No. The queen of weird is Kesha. Let's be real. Did you ever get that, Garrus? I didn't. Vincent. I didn't say that we're not besties. It's just that we live in different cities. It's just, you know. Ryan! Trigger! Trigger! Oh. My friend Scott sent me a text and he goes, hey Fallon, so there's gonna be a 90s music revival festival in Vaughan, which is just north of Toronto. Do you want to go? And I'm like, who's playing at it? He's like, oh, so it's gonna be, and I'm like, say it! Who's gonna be there? And he's like, Aqua? I'm like, no! I'm not going! Fuck them! He's like, okay. He had no idea what was going on. He was like, what? Anyway, yeah. I said, no, I am not going. But, what was the other band? You probably don't, Len? Do you guys remember Len? Steal My Sunshine? I don't know. They might be Canadian. I'm not sure. Anyway, Len is playing with Aqua. Ryan, it's all good. I'm totally kidding. So, yeah. No Aqua for me. Len? L-E-T. Okay, Aaron, okay, I'll send it to you. You can add it to your watch later, Kala. Oliver. He sends a screenshot. Hey, I'm watching, but he doesn't talk in chat. What is that? Yeah. What were we talking about before Aqua? I'm gonna make that a command for us to use, so people can troll me. Aqua. Ah! Just like if you say the C word that rhymes with fake. We can't trigger that in here, unfortunately. Can you play sweeps? I don't know what that is. Oliver and his potato camp. My foot is really hurting. Why? I don't think it like fully healed from when I like sprained it last couple weeks ago. Sweep picking. No. I can't, unfortunately. You know what? I'm really a terrible guitar player. I don't even really consider myself primarily a guitar player anymore. Because, I don't know, just because I focus on other things, I guess. Like more singing and more programming and arrangements and stuff like that, and doing other instruments. So I feel like I haven't progressed at all as a guitar player, which is unfortunate. And like also because I have arthritis in my hands, my level is just not where I would like it to be. And it makes me feel super embarrassed, actually. So I just try not to. It is, I don't know, it's a really weird thing that I have with playing guitar. And I try to play like when I can, when I'm having a good day, good like picking day. But even just like doing that is like hard. It's better in it's actually better in my picking hand. Sorry, in my playing hand. But anyway. Did you ever find out your favorite song? I did. I told you. Obdace is actually my favorite song. And I have it. I still have it programmed in. I have all the sort of raw tracks in my MC307. It's a sequencer. I still have it all programmed in there. I lost all. Did you guys hear that? He just went poop. Fuck Aquaman. Okay, so yeah, anyway, so I have it programmed in here, and so I listened to it a couple of days ago, and it doesn't have any, obviously doesn't have any of the guitars, has nothing that's added to it, but just like the raw tracks. I'm like, I love it. I love it. I still dance to it. So it's a good sign. Oh, here we go. So he's like full on right now. We were saying, oh, he's so quiet today. We jinxed it. Hey, clean your ass before you sit on things. Oh, he's got the zoomies, that's why. Hey, bro. Hello. No, don't come up here. I don't want you sitting on me with your nasty ass, dirt ass. Okay. Who's my favorite guitar player? Steph Carpenter. Who's your favorite band right now? William. So I've been listening to the Editors a lot, and the National's new record I've been loving. So I've been listening to a lot of very weird music, in that a lot of it is like kind of indie rock, electronic indie rock, and then also something like groups? No, people. Like Warmth. I really like Warmth a lot. I believe he's from Spain or Scotland. I can't remember. I think he's from Spain though. So it's like very ambient, weird. You know, Noah, you know how much I love. Like the stuff that you sent me, I really, really liked, by the way. Yeah, so, and then V&V Nation's record, of course, is the new one. Well, it's not new, it came out last year, but it's fucking awesome. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of the Editors lately. Who never fucking plays in Canada. It makes me fucking crazy, because like they are amazing, but never play in Canada, ever. And I don't even think they play in the US either. They only play in Europe. So I suspect there's a reason why somebody doesn't like to fly or something like that. But apparently somebody on my Facebook told me, oh, the Editors played in Toronto like 3-4 years ago. I'm like, for fuck's sake. Yeah, anyway. I don't know what it is, Kala, about them sorry, you said? No, yeah, V&V Nation is great. They tour everywhere, which is fantastic, and they tour multiple times in a year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they tour or they come back to Toronto this year, and of course I'd go see them. I went by myself. Like I couldn't find anybody that wanted to go with me. Because everybody was like broke or they just didn't have time or whatever. So I literally came back from work wearing like my pantsuit or whatever that I wore to work, and went straight to their show in like it was actually 2 or 3 days after my birthday or before, something like that. So it was like my birthday treat to myself. And I took my coat off, put my coat on the floor, and I danced for the entire 2 hours by myself, sang my face off. Like, it is the best. And I also did that with Depeche Mode too. I went to them by myself because nobody wanted to go. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm going by myself and I'm going to sing along and it's going to be amazing. And I've done that multiple times now. I like to sit and play Mean Venetian Illusion. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. He's so good. I don't know. I have no idea why he does that. I asked my vet about it, that maybe he was having like issues, like it hurts or something like that, and she's like, yeah, it could be that, but like, you know, other than that, you know, he doesn't have blood in his stool or anything like that, so he should be okay. I'm like, okay, but he's been doing that now for like a year. Hi, Dan. And can you do an American Southern accent? Which state? Sarge is a terrible tipper. He is. I just triggered the Sarge command. Did you miss Mistakes question? Huh? Sarge sees the... No, he doesn't see it anymore. He does deserve all the luxuries in the world. Sorry, Corey, I don't know what you're talking about. I think I did miss it. Come on down to Houston. I'll show y'all a good... I'll show y'all a good old accent. See you later. Thanks for coming out, Jade. What was the inspo behind Mistakes Breaks? Breakup. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember which breakup. But like, Draven! What's up, buddy? Yeah, and I think it was a breakup. No, I don't think. I know it was about a breakup, hence the name. A lot of that record was about like a transitional period between like the person that I was with during D6 and then like why a lot of the songs on Obdace was so like so anti-relationship a little bit, and then Human Conditional, kind of same thing. This record will be probably just as vitriolic. Ryan, so was my accent really good? Because I always find it's like really difficult to distinguish between the different like states, and then like people from Louisiana speak in a certain way, and then there are people from Texas that speak in a certain way, and then yeah. Sarge is fixed. A concept of the life of Sarge. Texas is the only one you need to worry about, Alan. Oh, well, not nice. That southern drawl was good. See, you know, it's really important for me in the job that I do, which is like, you know, acting and whatnot, to work on these kinds of things. So yeah. The one that I've been working on the most is a Northern English accent. I've talked about this multiple times, but for some reason I just cannot get it. It's very, 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 very difficult for me. And I was trying to look up like words that I can work on. So it's interesting, Scream, I had a South African accent for the first like 5 or 6 years of my life. So I feel like it's kind of cheating doing Australian and New Zealand. So I'm like, I kind of already had that accent. In every breakup, I used to blame my exes. Now I only blame myself. What do you think about breakup? Breakups suck. So that's why I just don't now. I just don't even do it. No. We're done. What is my dream acting job? Okay, dream acting job is to be on a sci-fi series. I told my agent that. I said, if you see any sci-fi series, anything, please submit me. Especially if they say, you know, ambiguous ethnicity. That's me. Yeah, see, Draven, my aunt, well, my cousins live in just outside of Manchester. So a lot of the time I try and listen to them talk and try and do it. It just for some reason is so difficult for me. And it's one of those, I don't know, it's just one of those things that I'm trying to work on. Fair enough, you're top, Sheila. I can't do Cockney either. Like, I can do an English accent, like I can do an RP accent, received pronunciation. But, like, Cockney, eh. Hello, governor. Hello, governor. I think is the only one I know how to say. Look up Domain of the Damned. Hey, very cool. Look at you. Could totally see Fallon being cast in the reboot of Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda as the Avatar of Andromeda. Very, very cool. I would love to do that. Like, I want to be on a sci-fi show and like one that has an incredibly dedicated following. So that means that if I'm only on that show, I will always have work. We just add an A or a Y sound to everything. Okay, here's another thing I picked up. I think, yeah. So I have a friend of mine who's from Melbourne, and I noticed that, well, anything that ends with an A has an R added to it sometimes. And I'm like, say that word again? And she'll say it, and I'm like, you guys add R's to things that end in vowels. Do you ever notice that? Yeah. Sharknado 3, I would totally do that. New X-Files! Yes! Yes! I would be there for that shit. Ugh. Oh, the kids! You alright? Oh, God. Aberdonian. I can't do Scottish. Scottish is like Scottish seems to always devolve into seems to like devolve into Irish every time, and I seriously can't not do it anyway. Yeah, and Graham, that's true. There is a lot of sci-fi. Like of the shows that I know that are being filmed in Toronto right now, it's just difficult. No! Scream! Yeah, there should be something that I should be, I don't know. So I've been doing mostly commercials now, so whatever. Mostly. I've only done one, but yeah. We say barrel instead of boil. Erica, where are you located again? Earl for oil. Bewitched. That you're in Illinois, really? Holy shit. My grandma would say winder. Winder. Yeah. Can I do a Russian accent? But okay, here's the thing about Russian accents is that Russian accent just seems to be like the generic Eastern European one, which, yeah, like it's difficult because I don't want to offend anybody, so I just try just like avoid it. Like on my resume, I don't say it. Because I'm like, I don't want, anyway, I would never be called for a Russian part anyways. But yeah. Like usually it's a lot of like talking like this, right? Kala. He knows a lot of words. I hate films that have people just doing a Russian voice and they don't speak Russian. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because it's just like this generic, like, okay, Eastern Europeans sound like this, Russians sound like this. And it just makes me crazy. The Russian accent is weird. I don't have one since my parents are from Romania. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh. His son, Bradley Cooper, said, this is so weird because it's like scrolling through my phone and then like scrolling through my phone, and then it's like, Bradley Cooper and his wife broke up. And I'm like, why is my phone showing me this? Like, what? Why? I don't care. No, what I'm saying that, like, if it's an Eastern European accent, so they're just like generically Eastern European, they do a Russian accent because they think that people sound like that in like east of, I don't know, east of Austria or something. They're like, okay, everyone over there sounds like this. When they kind of don't. Like I saw a video or a movie with someone who's supposed to be Spanish, like from Spain, but but a Spanish person speaking English sounds in a specific way, like an Italian person speaking English sounds in a specific way, like a French person, etc., etc. So it always makes me crazy when you're hearing it. You're like, okay, this person is supposed to be from, I don't know, Czech Republic or something like that. When they speak English, it doesn't sound like a Russian person speaking English, if that makes sense. It just makes me crazy. I'm like, who cast this? Um, a Ouija accent. Yeah, so, oh, I'm loving this, like, connection. Erica and Corey, love it, love it. Um, okay, let's see. Oops. Is there a Canadian accent? Yes, there is, definitely. But it also depends on where you live. I think because I grew up very close to the American border, and I also spent a large amount of time in the northeastern U.S. for, as you know, and was very influenced by, like, the quote unquote American accent, which is really just like northeastern seaboard accent. So my A's became longer as opposed to shorter in Canadian accent. And a lot of our words are closed. Closed. We say everything very, yeah. And whereas Americans say everything very, very like, you know I love you, but it's true. So, yeah. So yeah, we definitely do. We definitely have words that we say. What was the word? We were talking about this in Discord. We were talking about, like, some of the words that you guys notice when I'm streaming that I say very Canadian. I can't remember. One of you guys pointed it out. Dean, do you like the Walking Dead TV show? Okay, so I've only... Yes, leg. Because I say leg, like leg. Leg and leg sound kind of the same. Whereas somebody from the US would say... I don't know how you would say it, actually. Lag. It's longer. Lag. Yeah, so it really does depend on where you live. I think the farther north in Ontario, anyways, that you go, it can get much more closed. Just, excuse me, very similar to northern Minnesota. If you've ever heard people from Minnesota, northern Minnesota speak, obviously they share a border with us, sort of. And Wisconsin people sometimes talk similarly. So, oh, my computer died. Awesome. And I can't see your, give me a sec, guys, so just gonna grab this. That worked. Everything is so compact in this tiny little apartment. Yes, babes. Mommy's working. Mommy's doing working things. Don't you know? There we go. I get really, I'm super interested in, like, in, you know, linguistical differences and, like, hearing, which I think also comes from, if you guys are, any of you guys are musicians, like, you hear very distinct differences in the way that people speak. And I find that people who are musically inclined sometimes are better than others better than others with languages and learning accents and languages, because we can distinguish between them, just like we can distinguish between notes. So yeah, so one of the things when I was living in Denmark, I was also trying to hear the different regional differences between people. They all speak the same language, yes, but they definitely, I started to hear the differences between people's accents, which I think is so cool when it happens, because you're just like, okay, everyone just sounds like they're literally trying to talk with a potato in their mouth, and that's what their language sounds like. But then once you start to understand it and start to hear all the different accents, you can start to tell, oh, okay, so this person comes from this place. And this person, you know, I always find that super fascinating. And even when I was going around in America and listening to American accents from different areas, obviously you guys have a huge accent variation, but it's so interesting to me because you can automatically tell somebody, I can anyways, from California. They have a very specific way of speaking, and excluding the South, because the South is what it is, and you can tell somebody is from the South, but you won't necessarily know which accent it is until you've listened to different people from different areas. So a Louisiana versus a Texas versus a Mississippi, etc. So yeah, I always find it super fascinating. I studied linguistics in school too, so I guess that's why I'm such a nerd about it. I don't know. Chalice of truth. Yeah, Italian American accent is very, very interesting to me because pretty much everybody in because we also have an Italian Canadian accent. A lot of like the early immigrants from South Europe, when they came over, they have a very particular way of speaking English here. And you can always tell, I think, there's like, you can tell that there's like a flavor to the way that they speak, because at their home they didn't necessarily speak English as a first language. Like maybe they're speaking Italian with their parents, but then they've developed, obviously, you know, everywhere else they speak English, but they've developed a way of speaking within their community that became kind of, well, yeah, like what do you call it? It's like a Tal-English. It's like a mix between the two. It's very, very, very cool. It's stronger with anger or liquor. I went to school when I was living in Denmark. I went to school with a guy from South Carolina. And his accent, like, I mean, he watered his accent down a lot because he hated people asking him, like, oh, where are you from? And blah, blah, blah. So he would water it down, but then we would go out for drinks, and then it would just come out. Like, he would just be like, oh my God. He's like, I'm from South Carolina. I love it. It is amazing. Do. I can't really do a South Carolina accent, but still, it was great. And I'm like, you just went 0 to Southern in 5 drinks. Yeah, it's super funny. But it would become like super strong. You studied it as well, Corey. I didn't know that. That's very, very cool. And that, yes, this is a Lord of the Rings Chalice of Truth. See, as you can see, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he was a riot though, that guy. He was so funny, and like, yeah, he was great. Then there was this other guy that we went to school with. Like, there were a smattering of Americans that were part of our group, but mostly Aussies and Canadians. But then there would be like 1 or 2 Americans that were part of our big group. And there was another guy from Montana, and I'm like, I don't even think I've ever met anybody from Montana before. He's like, yeah, I'm from Montana. I'm like, what is life like there? Do you just have, like, you know, horses? Like, I knew nothing about Montana. Very, very nice guy. South Park definitely ruined Canada. Yeah, no, I think also Trailer Park Boys doesn't help. No one lives in Montana. That's what I was saying. I'm like, geez, I don't think I've ever met anybody from Montana before. This is crazy. And as part of our group, there was him, but then there was also another girl from Montana. I'm like, 2 of them? 2 Montanans? Really? Like, I was floored. I couldn't believe it. What's my favorite liquor? Gin. Did I show you my gin that I bought in Sweden? Delicious. And Letterkenny, yeah, too. Yes, gin. What brought me to Denmark? Because I was rejected from the UK. I wanted to go to the University College London to study with to study in their classics department, which is amazing. And they have really amazing classical studies department there. The University of St. Andrews is full, so I couldn't go there. Okay, so I couldn't go there. Bye, Vincent. So I applied to the University of Aarhus, which is in Denmark, and I got in. So I was like, I guess I'm going to Denmark. And then I learned about it and fell in love with the country, so all the rest is history. What kind of gin? My favorite gin is a gin from Germany called, I have it here, I'll show you. Shit, it's almost done too. So I don't really drink alcohol anymore, as my Discord folks know, because I can't. I suffer from migraines, so I can't really drink at all. I try not to. And sorry, I'm just reading. Show and tell time. It is. I love show and tell. It's fun. So I lived in Denmark last year. I've lived there many times, but I was there on a, what do you call it? Working holiday. And I worked at a bar there. It was a great little like blues bar. And it was, but we specialized in gin. And my boss was like, you know, you need to try all of the alcohol so that you can sell it to people. Well, not sell it, but like recommend something, right? So this one is called Monkey 47. It's a German dry gin. It is legit the best. It is delicious. Like, it is a very, well, if you're really into like a London dry, like a pretty straight up, yeah. If you're into that sort of straight up non-floral taste of like a Sipsmith or something like that, then you probably won't like this, but it is a very, very floral gin. Oh my god, it smells so good. It's yeah, so this one I think is primarily juniper and lingonberries. So yeah. But it's and I just love this bottle too. Like, not sponsored, but if you, Monkey 47, if you want to sponsor me, please do. It is delicious. And you don't need any citrus with it because it's already so, it's got such a very floral profile that you, like flavor profile, that you, like adding anything to it would just take away from its amazingness. I did a gin review on YouTube, so I will try this one for sure. Ooh, I have another one to show you. I brought two. This one is more traditional style, and I bought this one in Stockholm. It's just called the Stockholm, what? I don't know what that actually would translate to. Like distillery, I guess. Stockholm's distillery. maybe, I don't know. And this one is primarily elderflower. So it is also, it's not as good, to me, is not as good as this one, but this one's also very good. As you can tell, I haven't drank very much of this, whereas this one is like, it's like gone. So it shows you how much I really enjoy Monkey 47. Monkey 47 also makes a slow gin. It's red, if you know what that, I don't actually know what the difference is. I think it's just a different flower or something that they use. People never asked, so I never learned. And it's also very, very good. Like, they make very good quality gin. But yeah, if you can find this one, I found it in Stockholm, so yeah. Yeah. It does, and that was one of the reasons why I loved and why I wanted to buy this in the first place, or sorry, try this in the first place, because of the bottle, because you can use it afterwards for whatever, and it comes with this cool little cork. That's totally amusing to me. It just, yeah, I love apothecary bottles. I think they look really super cool. So yeah, definitely give it a try. Corey, I'm already sending you, I'm just gonna send you a box, like a box of stuff, which will be like shirts, a sweater, a face mask, gin. So might as well just make it into a huge box. Oh my God, really? Oh yeah, the Raptors game is tonight. So if you guys start hearing, Ryan, get on it, buddy. I'll send you a box of shit. Not real shit, but like stuff. Calla, the only reason why is because I fucked up the sweater that I was supposed to give her, or that she paid for, basically. So then I said, I owe you a sweater, and so then I just made it today, and I'm gonna send it. Oh, yeah. Yes, so I did my show and tell. I'm really glad I got to show that. It's all good, Calla. I've been doing this for an hour and a half. It's pretty good. I'll probably go for like, a couple of hours. If you guys have any more questions. Should I tell a story? Did I ever tell you the story of how I got Sarge? It's basketball. Yeah, it's the NBA finals, and like my neighbors well, they're not in my building, but they're like downstairs and in the building that's beside me. They're very loud. So my friend messaged me, and she said that she went upstairs to like give her neighbors shit because they were freaking the fuck out, and she's like, I have to work in the morning, so you can just shut the fuck up, because I know you love basketball and whatever, but I don't need to hear it. Like, I need to go to work, so shut up. Anyway, so the beginning part of 2001, there was a short, no, it wasn't the beginning, it was maybe around April. We were home from touring, and I was reconnecting with a friend of mine that I hadn't seen for like a really long time. And she was dating this really weird guy who I didn't like very much. And she probably doesn't know this. And if she's watching, I'm sorry, I didn't like your boyfriend. He was really fucking creepy. But anyway, she's dating this new guy, and so she, at the time, was living around the corner from my parents' house. She was still kind of living with her parents, but more so living with this boyfriend. And so she comes to my door and she's just like, what are you doing later? Or something to that effect. She was asking me like what I was doing, and I'm like, oh, you know, I think I have practice tomorrow or something like that. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but she was like being super, super sketchy. Okay. So later on, she comes with her boyfriend, the weird guy. We actually called him Strange Guy because he was so weird and like so. My friend is the most gorgeous, amazing woman dating this guy. We couldn't figure it out. But you know, when your friend is dating somebody, you don't want to be the one telling them like, yo, your boyfriend is a fucking weirdo, you need to kick him to the curb. We weren't those kinds of friends. We were just like, you know what, do whatever you do, you just be safe, you know, whatever. And so she comes back with the boyfriend. The boyfriend is wearing a trench coat or some kind of long coat. I can't remember exactly, but she's standing behind him. He's standing, and I open the door, and my dad, I think my parents were behind me, and they're like peeking around the corner to see what the hell's going on. And he opens his coat, and he pulls out this cat, and I'm like, hello? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing here, first of all? Second of all, you come to the fucking door with you, give me a cat. Like, no hello, just... He was so weird, guys. Like, you have no idea. This dude, very weird. So he pulls out this cat, and I'm like, okay, who's this? And she's just like, yeah, guy, I'm like really, really like allergic to cats. My dad freaked the fuck out and he kicked us out. Can you watch this cat for a while? And I'm like holding this little orange and white cat. I'm like, okay, well, I already have a cat. You know that, right? Tux was my first cat, not the family cat. I'm like, but he's so cute. Okay, I'll hold on to him while you figure out where you're going to take him, because I can't take him, and I've got, like, my parents will kill me. So I closed the door, they left, and I take this cat into my room with me, and he is freaking out, just screaming, like, meow, meow. Like, he was just, like, so scared. I'm like, shh, shh, because I didn't tell my parents. Like, I snuck by them with this cat. Didn't even, like, yeah. Snuck by them, brought him into my room. He's like scratching to get out, like so scared and like wide-eyed. And I'm like, oh my God, like what do I do? This poor thing. And then I kept him in my room. I'm like, Mom, I need to talk to you. And she's just like, what did you do? I'm like, nothing. No, I didn't do anything. I'm like, can you just come into my bedroom? I just want to show you. I just want to show you. So then I showed my mom the cat, and she's like, oh, he's so cute. And she's like, you know, you can't keep him, right? I'm like, come on. She's like, you're going on tour. We're not gonna be able to take care of this cat while you're away on tour. It's just, no, we're not gonna do it. And then I ended up leaving the band in May of 2001. So I'm like, well, guess I got a cat now. It doesn't matter, because the cat ended up staying with me for the latter part of April. And then I left the band in May of 2001. So yeah, I had this cat. And then I'm like, okay, well, can I keep him? And they're like, well, you're going to be home, I guess, right? So yeah, you can keep him, sure. So then that cat was this cat. So that was long time ago. You were delivered by a very weird and very high man. So, sorry. Yeah. My baby Sarge. So, yeah. Him and I have been through some shit. Or he's been through some shit, I'm sure. So he was born in the latter part of 2000. Maybe early 2001, so technically he's not quite 19, but yeah. But he was a barn cat, apparently. I'd found out afterwards. And then I met up with that friend again, and and she's just like, you still have Sarge? I'm like, yeah, I do. You were supposed to come pick him up, but you never did. And she's just like, dude, I'm so sorry about that whole thing. Like, it's fine. I would never give him away for anything. And yes, Tux was a tuxedo cat. He was our first cat. We got him in 1991, and he died in 2008. He lived for a long fucking time, that cat. And he didn't even die of like natural causes. It was just, anyway, I'm gonna start crying if I talk about it. It's so sad. Yeah. Yeah, that cat was the best. And like Sarge, since Sarge was such a baby when we introduced them finally, Tux hated Sarge. He's like, I am not having this. But Sarge was so depressed when Tux was killed. Like, so depressed. He would not come out of his he had a little home. He would just sit there and was like looking for Tux to like, cause Tux would walk and then Sarge would be like, boom, 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 and just like keep jumping over him. It was adorable. Oh, it's so sad. Yeah, Tux got hit by a car. I mean, he was like, how old is he? If we got him in 91, yeah, he was old as fuck, that cat. But he still got hit by a car. What a badass. Like, Jesus. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm going across the street. So clearly somebody didn't want to wait for him and just ran him over. Because people are fucking garbage. So. Yeah. So that was my Sarge story. And he's very special. He's special. He's something, all right. Friggin' Sarge. Oh, you look so cute and warm. Your ears are very warm, babes. I think I showed you guys pictures of baby Sarge, like the first couple of weeks that I had him. When he was like this, like just a little fucker. Are you gonna attack me again? Are you gonna attack me? Why are you doing that? Whenever you do that, that's like the precursor to vomit. So I always get really worried. Huh? Are you going to vomit? Kala, is there anything you can reveal yet about the work in progress? Yeah, I guess I could. So I've been experimenting a little bit with different vocal style, which I guess you could kind of hear on Human Conditional on the two, like, kind of bookend tracks. I tried to do something a little bit different there, you know, because I think the early AA had a very specific kind of vocal style, and the new stuff has some songs that remind me of, like, say, like Florence and the Machine kind of vocal style, so it's very different, but still me, obviously. So I've been experimenting with that. There'll be 10 tracks. I have some in varying degrees of completion. I do have one song that I finished that I may put out as like a fun song. I had talked about it already very, very long time ago. And it's just been sitting in like a group of songs that I'm like, I don't know what to do with any of these. And of course, it kind of leads back to the fact that my equipment, everything that I'm using is quite old. Like I haven't updated anything since 2008, actually. So a lot of it has been sitting there and not being used or... Hi, JR. PR from Puerto Rico. Bienvenido. So yeah, so there's one song that I may just put out just for fun. This is like a, not part of the record itself, but it's a really fun song. I call it the Katy Perry song. So that's what, so there will be 10 of the songs. And it definitely is not as aggressive, but I know that, quite a lot of my like older fans like the more aggressive stuff. So like a song like Salute, for example, was also very popular with people because it was a little bit harder. But it will, I want to make a good mix of things. A mix of sounds, because I don't want to alienate anybody, of course, but as with my other records, all of them have a theme. All the songs have a theme. It's not a concept album, but it has a theme. So yeah, all of them will be, because if you listen to something like Human Conditional has a story, and it tells a story from beginning to end. So I think this record will have the same focus as well. So, sure. Yeah, I definitely am thinking about because I have done a cover song pretty much every time, and I'm still thinking about it. I did program 2 covers that I completely forgot about. I might use those. I might not, or maybe just release it just for fun and just release a lot of music all at the same time. So yeah, that's really all I can say about it at this point. But I'm thinking of maybe doing some work on it tonight, and yeah. So I'm so excited for it, because like I feel that my voice is also very much matured from Human Conditional. So it'll sound different and good. I mean, not to say that it didn't sound good, but there were, of course, I'm like many artist types, were never satisfied with those sorts of things. So anyways, thank you guys. Thank you, mods, for pushing that. I really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Awesome. I saw that there was another question, but I missed it. Oh, yeah. Do you think that extensive touring takes a toll on a singer the most? Yes. I sometimes don't know how they do it, but a lot of the times, I think a lot of the time it comes down to singing properly. Sometimes maybe if you're not trained how to properly sing, you end up hurting your voice, and therefore, doing that every night obviously becomes more challenging each night. And especially if you're in a band that isn't just singing, it's, you're screaming or whatever. That definitely it's not something you should be doing to your voice every night. So it's I really do feel for a lot of the like metal singers that have to do that every night. Like that's hardcore. Like even doing choke just once destroyed my voice, like absolutely destroyed, because I didn't know how to properly scream and I didn't really care to learn, to be honest. But now I've taken singing lessons and trying to like, sing properly. Um, and I've had to do like musicals where I've had, 3 shows in one day or 2 shows in one day. And, you need to be able to sing. And not only that, but for 2 hours straight as part of an ensemble or part of you by yourself. So I had to learn how to do it because, like, ugh. Yeah. So I think it does come down to that. It's just knowing how to properly sing and to properly breathe and to know, just warm up. Because a lot of people, like, I don't remember warming up. When we toured, who warms up? Nobody does that. But very, very, very important. What, you don't like me touching you? Um, I'm sorry that your cat got hit too, Noah. Yeah, it is, especially if you're doing well. I mean, for any performer, really, it really really takes a toll on your voice. So, and I can't even imagine people that do touring shows for like a musical theater or any theater really, um, for months and months and months on end. Like that is serious, serious. Like, Jesus. And that's why I think I remember it was an interview with Adele, and she was saying, well, if you don't remember the words, you know, um, all right, Corey, no problem. You guys are absolutely a trooper. I have my phone plugged in because I knew that this was gonna happen, but um, yeah. So I guess that answers that question, or maybe I was in the middle of a thought and then it just whatever. Thanks so much, Corey. Um, when did you realize that you can sing? And Kitty, you didn't sing so much, so I thought that time you probably can't. How wrong I was. Oh, thank you. I've always been a singer, always, before anything else. It's, I just wasn't comfortable, like, singing lead or whatever. Um, yeah, so I always knew. I just didn't think it was appropriate for that kind of music, I guess. Yeah, right, exactly. She's just like, whenever you're tired or you can't remember the lyrics, just hold out the microphone. Your fans will finish it for you. It's fucking great. And I'm like, I've totally done that, even though, like, not with my solo stuff, but yeah. Sometimes you don't have to. So, anyway. Oh man, my eyeballs are itchy. Still itchy from earlier. Did you have people who helped you figure out sequencers and drum machines and software, or all that you figured out on my own? I did it all on my own, and I'm still figuring it out. I'm definitely not an expert um, at any of that stuff, and even just like production itself. Like, um, I produced all of my records, but they were engineered by somebody because they know how to do the things that I want. Um, the engineer for me was really the person that I could be like, I want to do this. How do I make that happen? Because their knowledge is better that I pay for their knowledge as opposed to sitting there and trying to figure it out myself. Even though I am the type of person that doesn't like to you know, I like to learn these sorts of things. But it just made more sense. Sorry, my head is cut off. Sarge, I'm sorry, babes. I know you're trying to sleep. I'm just talking. Yeah, and you're right, time is money, and it's much faster for me to pay somebody to do it as opposed to me sitting there trying to figure out what plug goes in where and what I don't know that. I'm not an engineer, an audio engineer. I'm just not. But the programming stuff, the sequencing, drum machines, and all that stuff, I did figure out on my own, which did take a long time. But I still have so much more to learn about how to do that stuff. Yeah, and I don't know how to say your name. Is it Petey? Pete? Petey? Beyond all the bad sides of major labels, can you find any good ones? I don't even know, because I think this came up also in Discord too, or maybe one of the live streams, about whether or not this record I would try to be signed for it, because as you may or may not know, I had my own label and I had put out all of my records on that label as well. Hi, Bree. So I think I might try and shop this one to a label, not to a big one, but to a small one, that can help me, because I would love to tour. But as you may or may not know, touring is extremely expensive. And for me, being somebody... Andre! Oh, you're Andre. Okay, yeah. Now I know who you are. Okay. It's extremely expensive. It's time consuming. You know, I would have to, you know, pay people to be in the band with me, which is fine. I'm totally okay with doing that. But it's a lot of work, and I need, yeah, I need the support, financial support from them to be able to do that. So, and there are tons of smaller labels that I think would be good for me to go after. But I think it might be a hard sell. I don't know, but we'll see. Because I never tried to shop my records around before. I don't know, I just wasn't interested in being signed to a label. So, Kala, so you use a mix of digital and analog gear then? Since you mentioned plugs going where, I'm assuming synths and filters. Yes, so I did use a mixture. Primarily District 6, and on better days we're done analog. And at that time I didn't have access to a digital audio workstation, so I was literally just programming everything in the sequencer, and I would take it and be like, okay, I would like to, and I had already done the song. I had sequenced it within the actual machine itself, not into a computer. So then the engineer and I would work to sort of make that happen in a Pro Tools environment, usually. No, first, yeah, D6 was done in Pro Tools, and then the Obdace, I think, was done in Cubase, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, and it was much easier to have somebody that knew what they were doing with regards to, like, you know, okay, maybe we want to add some of these plugins and whatever. I'm like, I know nothing about plugins, I'm sorry. Like, so what do we do here? Maybe we can switch this out because it sounds cool, because I'm quite limited by the amount of analog equipment that I have. And, you know, sometimes they would know other plugins that would be better, sound better, you know. And that's what I love about that process, right, is that you know, I would normally not have access to that. So Bree, when you meet new people and they find out that you were in a band, how do they react? I'm not caught up. Are you making music again? So I actually mentioned this earlier in the stream. It happened to me recently, and it was super embarrassing, actually. because sometimes I'm really hesitant to give people my Instagram, because especially if, you know, if I give it to them and then they look at it and they're like, why do you have so many followers? And I'm like, how do I react to that question? Like, I don't know. Because people just automatically assume that you bought them, or, you know, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so the girl that I had given it to, she's a colleague, another actor, and she's just like, how come you have so many followers? I'm like, oh, yeah. And then, so she kind of dropped it, and then she went back, and she was sitting there by herself, and she'd been sitting there like on my Wikipedia and reading about me, and she's just like, she comes over and she's just like, what's this? And I'm like, it's a website. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, so a lot of them react very like, wow, that's really cool, or very confused, and they don't understand why I'm there. Like, yeah, like my boss. Okay, so my boss from my previous job, and if you know anything, well, if you probably don't know anything about provincial government, but the way it works is you have, you know, a minister, and then you have a bunch of deputy ministers and an assistant deputy minister, and then you have like the people underneath there, and she was at that level, so she's quite high up in the public service. So she turns to me, she goes, what's this about you being in a band? And I'm like, oh God, no. It was very, very embarrassing. And then like trying to explain it to her, and she was just like not getting and not understanding, like, why are you here then? Like, how come we didn't know about this before? I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that in my interviews. Like, it's absolutely not relevant to the work that we're doing here. But yeah, it's so a lot of the time people are very confused, to answer your question. And yes, Bree, I am putting on a record this year. Actually, you can, I think one of the mods posted my Bandcamp and Amphibious Assault's Bandcamp, which is essentially the same thing. It's just me, but just under a different name. I've always wanted to learn all the gear and recording ropes, but I'm fatigued and have bad ADD and suck at learning. Noah can relate, my friend. It is really difficult to sit down there and learn, but then once you do know some of these little like tidbits that you can do in a DAW, it just like, wow. Like it just makes things so much easier. So like I use Logic Pro, and it's the only thing I can use now. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I use Ableton, or sometimes even Fruity Loops, or, you know, Pro Tools or whatever. And I just find that Logic for me just makes sense. I don't know why, it just does. But there's still so many pieces of it that I don't understand exactly what it's for. I've had the manual for years and have never opened it, because I'm a tinkerer. I like to be able to like, okay, what does it do if I do this? And then I'll maybe look up, okay, what did I just do? How did I manipulate the sound to sound like that? And then, you know, there's sometimes these really great happy accidents that happen, and then you have no idea what you just did. Whereas, you know, somebody that's gone to an audio engineering school or whatnot, they would know exactly what it is, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't have the attention span. So, whoa. If you can play and produce everything, you don't need anyone else to record music. Well, I agree and I disagree, because sometimes, and I'm sure you guys, some of you guys write music too, so you understand what I mean when I say this. You become really ear blind. Like you can no longer distinguish between certain notes or sounds anymore, because you've heard it so much. So I think it's extremely important to give it off to somebody else, because there were a couple of times too during when I was recording off days or on better days that I had to go to the guy that I was working with and be like, okay, something sounds off. I don't know what it is, but I can hear it. Can I leave it with you for a second or like for the night and just like listen to it? Something is weird. Can you just, just do this for me? So then he had figured out that there was like a slight semitone change that I was hearing, but I couldn't identify exactly what it was just something that I had programmed incorrectly. So instead of it, being the same note, it was just slightly off. And it sounded really dissonant and kind of cool, but at the same time, very jarring. And I kept listening to it, I'm like, I don't know what it is, man. Like, what is it? What is it? And then he figured it out. So I feel like, absolutely you can record all that stuff on your own and give it and release it. But I just feel like it's always so good to just give it to somebody else too, for them to process as well. And it's also good because sometimes I can be a real control freak about these things. And it's just good to have somebody else listen to it, that maybe you're hearing something that they aren't, maybe they could hear things that you won't necessarily do. You won't necessarily hear, sorry. The singer for my new project is being iffy, thinks he doesn't need to learn the 6 songs first before a first jam. We just learn them on the fly at the jam. If he's a new singer and he doesn't want to learn anything, Do you think piracy was the reason for a music scene decline? And Andre, no problem with questions. This keeps the stream going, so that's good. I do think that it is kind of a blessing in disguise. It's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time, because there will be people that would not necessarily hear my music, hear it because of piracy. But on the other hand, I really felt that when Human Conditional was released, because it was leaked before, I don't know how, but it was somehow leaked, and people, like, my partner at the time was fancied himself as a bit of a hacker. Was like, oh yeah, I found it on the forum somewhere. Somebody uploaded it. I'm like, what? It isn't even out yet. Like, really? I am nobody important. Why the fuck would somebody think that it would be cool to post my... Really? Ay, ay, ay. But then on the flip side, I'm like, okay, well, the record, did fine. It didn't sell, it didn't even sell 1,000 records. Not even. Which is absolutely fine, because to me, selling one is remarkable. But at the same time, that opens up my audience to so many other people that normally would never have heard of me. There are still people that don't know I have my own music. And I've been making it since 2002. It's 2019 now, and people are still like, hey, you have records? I'm like, yes, I do. Please buy one. But yeah, I do think piracy is kind of this evil devil thing, but at the same time, it's like, yeah. So what's your music process like? Do you generally just get the chords, melody, bass lines down first, and then do you go back and try to work on the sound? Or sound first, then music? It's a good question, Kala. So for me, the music process is usually sometimes I'll even record it on my iPhone. I want something that sounds like this. So some of the time I'll start it like that. But then most of the time I would say that my songs will always start with a drum beat of some kind. That's usually the foundation for all of my songs. So I'm like, okay, I want to have a kick that sounds like this. And I will sometimes work on a kick sound for days. there's a song on there that I still am not happy with the kick sound. And then, so I'll tweak it and I'll tweak it. I'm like, nope, 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 not quite what I want. It's not quite there. And, you know, so I will work on that alone for hours. And I didn't do that necessarily with District 6 or on Better Days. But I did start with the drum beat first, but I wasn't necessarily so picky about the sound of the kick or the sound of the whatever. So yeah, so then I'll start with the drum beat, usually. That's how I will build it from there. And then I would find something that kind of, yeah, I think I build it by rhythm section first. That's usually what I do. So rhythm section first, like, okay, we got a good drum beat going here. Oh, okay, let's add a little bit of bass here, maybe a little bit of synth bass, so it contrasts with, you know, maybe something that's a more analog sounding, and then build it from there. So rarely do I ever be like, I want a song that sounds like this. Usually I'm building it with those building blocks first, and then I'll come up with a melody. So usually the melody is the last thing I'll do. When I was writing Rio de Janeiro, for example, I wrote the melody for that on my like sequencer, because I had it all built as a song in my sequencer, and I'm like, okay, what I have in my sequencer and what became on the record are very different things, but the essence of it was very much the same. The melody was in there, which I use on the final version, but the melody was usually with the last layer that I put on, if that makes sense. So let me just see. You have to find the DAW that fits you. Yeah, and Andre, that's absolutely true. Like I had my good friend who gave me Ableton was like, you'll love Ableton. It's so easy. It's so whatever. And I popped it in, and I'm like, once you're invested in a DAW that you like and that you're used to using, it's so, hey Carl, it's so much, you're almost kind of married to it. You're like, what is this? I can't do this. I can't divorce Logic. I can't do it. It's just, so yeah. And then he's, I told him, like, I usually only use Logic, and it's the only thing that I know how to use. And he's like, yeah, to each your own. I mean, whatever works for you. And it's very true. It's whatever makes sense to you in your head, you should use. Now that you are more learned, more about singing, would you try your choke voice again? Well, I did do it, sort of, at the Katy show, and I was really nervous about doing that because I hadn't sung that song in so long. But it was surprisingly easy to get my voice prepped for that, and I did like warm up quite a bit. I tried to anyways, and tried to make sure that my voice was really like well lubricated so that I could, scream without losing the control, because I found that a lot of the time when I was singing that song previously, I didn't have the control that I needed, because I was screaming from here as opposed to screaming from down here, like a sound instead of a sound. Sounds really weird, but there's a very marked difference, I think. So on my own music, I would never scream. It's just not what I do. Maybe yell, like with Pigface, with the song that I do with them. I yell that song quite a bit. The live version of the song is very different from the CD version. The one song that I did with them, Mind Your Own Business. So I yell that song. I don't scream it, I yell it. Two different things. So, Aaron, how did you get on Apple Music for streaming? I believe that's through the Orchard. Andre, Human Conditional was leaked in Russia the day. Ah! Ha ha! It was the Russians. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. You are here, you're supporting, it's fine. Like, it's good. You don't owe me anything. For everyone just joining. Yay, thank you, Kala, for doing that. Appreciate it. So I think those were all the questions. I'm sorry if my answers don't make any sense. No one ever asks me these questions, so I haven't rehearsed it. I think we're caught up, yeah. What about you guys? What inspires you every day? Like, I know that most of the people in the chat are very creative folks, and there are things like, you know, you're some writers in there, some artists and whatever. Like, what is it ever, like, the thing that inspires you the most? Like, is it when you, like, for example, for me, for acting, whenever I watch a really powerful performance by an actor, that's, I find inspiring, and it makes me want to do it as well, for an example. Like, every time I watch Helen Mirren in anything, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I need to be like that woman. Or what's a performance that I was like really floored by recently? Oh, well, Claire Foy, love her. But yeah, like, just, so those sorts of things that inspire you to create on your own. Okay, why is this not scrolling anymore? I have a question. Carl, if there was one song you wish you could have wrote, what song is it? Oh, good Lord, that's a good question. There are so many songs that I can listen to and I'm like, fuck, I wish I wrote that. Like, I think Beloved by B&B Nation is probably one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. And I'm like, how does a song like that come out of someone's head? And how can I harness that energy? Because it is such a magical song from beginning to end. And I wish I wrote it. I really do. It is fantastic. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and listen to that song. It is beautiful. El Tigris, sadness. Sadness is a very, very good motivator for yeah, very good motivator for artistic endeavors, indeed. So, Aaron, do you meditate? Okay, last night I listened to, if you guys ever heard of the app called Headspace. Sometimes Headspace, I would listen to a Headspace thing prior to starting work, because my job that I had before, I found to be incredibly stressful, and I needed to like center myself before I went into work. So I would listen to Headspace quite a bit to try and calm myself down, because a lot of the time I was just like wound up like this, and I'm like, I'm gonna freak the fuck out if I don't try and learn how to control that energy. So I was on a pretty good streak there for a while for meditation, and then I haven't done it in a while. But last night, in the Headspace app, they have a sleep thing, even though I have never had problems sleeping ever. But, you know, some nights you just like, yeah, some nights you just want to listen to someone with a very nice voice. And this one in particular was walking through a market in a faraway land of some kind, and it just walks you through it, and then it describes everything that you're seeing and all the colors and whatever. I was like out in like 2 minutes because I could hear it and I could picture it in my head, and it was so comfortable because I had Sarge like kind of, he likes to lay right here in my belt, on my belly. So it was just, oh, it was really nice. So I should really start doing it. So when I was writing my first book, I was inspired by bad things like breakup and death of family members, but now I'm inspired by good things. Sadly, good things inspire less. Yeah, Andre, I think it's interesting that you mentioned that because, you know, I don't think that all art should come from a place of sadness, but a lot of the time, the most identifiable art comes from that sad or dark place. So when you look at somebody like when I look at like Van Gogh's work, for example, I don't find his work dark at all, but that man was in a dark place 24/7. Like when you look at his art, it's all very like bright and there's a lot of life in it, which is so interesting. It's a very interesting contrast to what the life that he actually led and lived versus what he painted. So it's, I always think it's very interesting people say those sorts of things like, oh, you know, he was so and so was better when he was on heroin or whatever. And yeah, I do think that there is an argument to be made that some very good things can come from that, from a very dark place, but at the same time, it's, yeah, I don't know if it necessarily sends the greatest message that you can't make good art if you're happy and things are good. I myself personally, I don't think I've ever written anything when I am in a good mood. It's, you know, you have to draw from something, from a very deep emotion in order for it to be somewhat relatable to other people. And I'm not saying that other people can't relate to being happy, but everybody can relate to heartbreak, and everybody can relate to loneliness and sadness and all of that. And they relate to it on a deeper level and a different level, I think, than, hey, I'm just having a good day and I just wanted to tell you about it. You know, like, some people are like, I don't give a fuck that you're having a good day. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just, maybe there should be something to be said about art that comes from a happy place, but, or music that comes from a happy place, but it definitely has a different audience, maybe. I don't know. I find yoga clears my mind, body, and soul. Erin, do you do like hot yoga, or I think it's called, is it hatha yoga, or the one that's just like normal without the hotness? I did hot yoga for a long time, and then the heat started to really bother me. I know, I'm such a delicate little flower. Sorry, babes. So it's yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, who's tired? Are you tired, babes? Look how cute your little face is. Oh. You look ugly. Don't make that face. Let's give you little man cheeks. Look at your man cheeks. So hold on. Yeah, so yoga is so there was a time where I was doing it a lot, and it was really hard on my body, but I looked really good. Hi, my love. Hello. You staring at mommy? But yeah, I did find that if you had the right teacher who had, first of all, the right cadence in their voice, and they were saying things that didn't sound too floofy, if that makes any sense. You know, talking about leaving your day at the door, talking about, you know, connecting with your body and listening to your body and that kind of thing. So for me, if I had a really good teacher, then I found that it was very good. But other times I'm just like, what the fuck is this person on about? The stars and the blah, blah, blah. Like, shut up. Like, really? So, yeah, it really depends for me. So, Callie, you're saying that karate does that for you. Yeah, it's... yeah, our dojo is more than average spiritual one, less focused on the physical and absolutely zero sport. Oh, cool. Okay. Ended up talking about Headspace app to my therapist. Oh, see, because it was originally given to, or talked about to me from a naturopath that I was going to see. And she's just like, have you downloaded the Headspace app? And I'm like, the what? And then I looked it up, and it's really great. I really enjoy it, although you do have to pay for quite a bit of content in it. I found that it was very good. Kala, remind me to send you a video from Doctor Who about Van Gogh based on that observation later. Oh, interesting. Thank you for your deep answers. Good to speak to another artist. We share a same vision. My last question, what exactly was your lines in Choke? What do you mean my lines? Like, what are the lyrics to it? Kala, back on music creation, do you write music more for feel, or do you actually delve fairly deep into the music theory when you're writing as well? Kala, I never ever pay attention to the music theory, ever. I write from the feel. I'm not musically trained. I don't, and you know, I was quite surprised to find out how many other professional musicians don't have music training. Like, they're just naturally in tune to, like, they're just kind of musically gifted in some way. I wouldn't call myself musically gifted, but I do understand music innately, I think. So I don't have any training. I have very minimal amount of understanding of musical theory, like a basic understanding of it, which I had to learn after I was a professional musician, which is hilarious. I learned it to sight read for musical theater. So even though I'm still terrible at it, anyways. So I always write for the feel, always. I find women yogis were best for me. Yeah, Erin, I think that's true, and I think a lot of it just came from being, like, listening to the cadence of someone's voice. If a guy had a very soothing voice, then I was fine. But I found that they were the ones that were more floofy. They would just start talking about weird shit, and I'm like, okay, what are we even talking about right now? So then it just annoyed me for the most part. And then I just found that I responded better to the female yogis. So I find am I getting tired? Not yet. I'm good, actually. I don't know how long we've been going for, but it is 9:30. That's just kind of crazy. 3 hours of talking. I'm good so far. But if you guys have to leave, please don't think that you have to stay at all. But I guess we can roll till 10 or so. That works for me. And that way everyone can still have somewhat of an evening. We can go back to Discord. I may actually play a little bit. I don't know. So Andre, you're saying about my lyrics, the lyrics in Brackish. What am I saying? It's so funny because, like, Morgan and I kind of wrote the lyrics to that song, like she wrote the verses, and then we kind of went together on what to say during the chorus. So originally I was supposed to sing it on the record, and I did, and I sang it, and we recorded it, and we were like, it sounds okay, and I did it a couple of different ways, and it just still didn't sound right. So then Morgan went in and like screamed the entire thing, and we were all like floored, like, yes, that's 100, because she just had the timbre that we were looking for, I think. Whereas my voice is a lot lower than hers, and like it just didn't sound on the record, it didn't sound right. But then when she did it, and it was really just layering her voice on her voice, it sounded great. So yeah, my voice is definitely starting to go. So Carl, you need to come out with an autobiography and record yourself on CD. Like an audiobook? I've already started a couple of chapters of, which sounds so weird. I hate even like, people are like, oh, I'm writing a book about myself. Oh. Anyways. Oh, good night, Andre. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad you could join from Russia. That's amazing. So, but yeah, I've already started on writing some chapters on, and it's such an interesting, like, I think I don't have a more interesting life than anyone else, really, but there are certain aspects of my life, I think, that are like perfectly representative of small town, okay, mid-sized city in Ontario during the 1990s. Like very, very typical life during that time. And I think anybody that is at my age and would understand it, and they would be able to relate. So, not saying that my life is any more interesting than anybody else's, but I think, people can relate on that level. And so, for example, the chapter that I did write talks about the 7th grade for me, and how things started going like wiggy and weird at that time. 7th and 8th grade, and then like the 9th grade was a very, very weird period in my life. So I wrote a lot about that, and a lot of it was using like diary entries from that time, and it was when I met Mercedes, so things were there was a lot of things going on at that time. There were a lot of things going on at that time, so I'm working on it, Carl. Play your guitar. I don't have my guitars here. They're packed, unfortunately. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, thank you, Kala. Kala's on it. Join here, Kala. That's a goal of hers. Yes, it is a goal. And audiobook for Silmarillion. Kala, don't even tease. I would love that shit. Love it. Sarge does not care when I read the Silmarillion to him. He does not give a shit. He does not care about Morgoth. He's just like, that's you. You don't care when I read you anything. You want the Princess Bride in her different voices. I want the, well, I would totally do that. 100%. Yeah, you did come up with the autobiography and your experience, Katy. Yeah, of course. Definitely would, well, yeah, that would be part of it for sure. But yeah, there is, I don't know if you saw that there is a documentary about Katy as the band, the entire band, the beginning to where they are now. But that is out there. If you go to their website, all the details of that is there. It's pretty cool. I'm in it for like 2 minutes. So yeah. Lots of great questions tonight, guys. Some deep ones. Love deep questions. Love just shooting the shit. Shooting shit. Oh my god. Am I gaming tonight? I don't think I will. I will probably by myself, but not streamed. Because I don't know if I would be able to talk for like another 3 hours. It wouldn't be good. Yeah. But yeah, as Aaron said, tomorrow. I'll run another poll to see what people want, because they're definitely gonna play a game tomorrow. I just don't know which one. It seemed like a lot of people wanted me to do Witcher 3 again, which is fine because it's a really super cool game. And I want to hear the Batman voice again. But so I downloaded, or I bought Layers of Fear 2, which was something that Metzger, one of my patrons, wanted me to play. And the trailer, I'm like listening to the trailer, I'm like, oh, this guy's voice sounds really familiar. Like, you know who it sounds kind of like? Preacher. Not Preacher. Okay, anybody that's an X-Files fan, you'll understand. Augustus Cole from X-Files, it's like season 4 or something like that. That actor. I recognized his voice from X-Files, and I'm like, who is this guy? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, it's Augustus Cole from X-Files. Yeah, nobody could beat me at X-Files trivia, ever. Except if it was like who are the actors' names, because I can't remember them. Where did I get my LOTR goblet? Burger King. Da 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 da. Whose CD would you buy first between the Butcher Babies or Ginger? I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry. Yeah, I am a pretty, I'm a pretty big X-Files fan, I would say. I think it might be my next tattoo. Something Scully related. I don't know. We'll see. Because, Gillian Anderson is a force to be reckoned with. That woman is just amazing. Have you guys seen her in American Gods? Or anything? What would you say is your favorite Rob Zombie movie if you had to pick? I can only say I've only seen 2 of them, which was House of a Thousand Corpses and the other one. Which I don't remember the name, so it just shows you how much I care about it. I don't really like those kinds of movies. Not because it grosses me out or whatever, it's just not my thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I really liked House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought it was cool. So, yeah, she was great. Oh, God, I love it. I love Gillian Anderson so much. Speaking of Rob Zombie, how many zombies would Rob Zombie rob if Rob Zombie could rob zombies? How many zombies would Rob Zombie rob if he could rob zombies? Well, I would think that because of a shared familial, last name, because I'm sure all zombies have a last name Zombie, he would be able to easily overpower them with some kind of familial handshake. I have no idea. Have I ever met his wife? No, I have not. I heard Fred Durst is directing a movie with John Travolta and Devon Sawa. I followed Devon Sawa on Instagram for a minute, and then immediately regretted it because he's, yeah, I don't know. He kind of strikes me as a bit of a jerk, to be honest. Jonathan Brandis. Did you guys look up Jonathan Brandis and Billie Eilish? Do they not look the same? Do it. Who, Jonathan Brandis? I know he died. He was so good in Ladybugs. So good. What an actor. Even Rodney Dangerfield was in that one. It was amazing. What a wonderful, wonderful movie. Look at you. Hi, Anthony. What is your favorite guitar amp? So I have always played, actually the only amp that I have currently, sorry, that's not true. I have two. The only head that I have currently is the first one I ever bought, which is a Mesa Boogie Tremoverb. They no longer make them, actually. So that's why I refuse to get rid of it. Even though it weighs literally 70 pounds, it's insane. I've always been kind of a diehard Mesa Boogie fan, but then other people are like, you know that they make, like, now the technology has gotten so good that they make comparable, cheaper versions, basically. Like, I played a Hughes and Kettner recently, maybe in the last like 3 years. I don't remember what the model of it was, but it sounded amazing. It was really, really good. But then I started playing orange amps too. Really, just really amazing. But I would still say that I'm still pretty diehard Mesa Boogie, just because it's my go-to. So Rodney Dangerfield Back to School is classic. Yeah. Wow. It's such a weird movie though. Not Back to School, but like Ladybugs. I don't know why it was like, had this old man with this really attractive teenage heartthrob guy in this movie. And then I'm like, who is this weird old man? Because you're totally ruining this, because we were all as you know, young girls. We all watched it for Jonathan Brandis. We didn't watch it for Rodney Dangerfield, that's for sure. Have you played with Skindred? I don't even know who Skindred is, I'm sorry. So, no. You've never saw Ladybugs? Dan, do yourself a favor, watch Ladybugs. It's a classic 90s movie. And yes, Jonathan Brandis, he was in it. Xerxes, what's up? Aaron, favorite Disney movie? Ooh, girl. It's a very, very good question. There was one that really, like, profoundly loved as a kid. But as you know, I didn't really watch, well, my Discord people will know this. I, as a kid, didn't watch a lot of Disney stuff. I watched James Dean movies and 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s movies, because that was my jam. I was like obsessed with old movies. So like the original Little Rascals, I loved. Census makeup stuff coming soon. Kala, you friggin' troll. But yeah, to answer your question, that's really difficult. I think Aladdin, maybe, because the soundtrack was really good, and Beauty and the Beast also because the soundtrack was really good. That helps. Um, so did you like Abbott and Costello? 100%. Love. Well, no, I was actually more like into the Three Stooges. Loved the Three Stooges. Yeah, so there you go. So it was like really, really, really into like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies. Um, or pretty much anything that was on Turner Hollywood Classics. If you guys, I don't know if you had that in the US, if that's a Canadian thing. I'm not sure. Do you have a favorite poet? Does it have to be a modern poet? Probably would say no requirement. Okay, I would say probably Ovid, or yeah, probably Ovid. Quite like Sappho too, even though a lot of them are just fragments. And then Catullus, because he was dirty as fuck. And what draws me to Ovid? Ovid, in my opinion, and I've only ever read his stuff in English translation, unfortunately. He wrote in Latin. But his, even the translations into English doesn't give you the true flavor and the true mastery of the Latin language anyways, but you still get somewhat of an idea of what he was going for, I guess, in English. So I've never read it in Latin, so I can't really speak to it, the complexity of it or anything. But I will say, in the English translations anyways, he was a man that saw and felt and understood relationships and understood the complicated emotions that are tied up within that so well. And if you've ever read, I haven't really read any modern poets, so I can't make, I don't think I've read ever, like maybe Frost I read once at school. Frost? Eliot, not Frost. See, I don't know any modern poets. So yeah, his understanding of like relationships and love and longing and all that was really complex and deep in the English translation. So I would imagine in Latin it was even better. However, I've read Catullus in Latin and in English, and he was just, when he was really in love with, he was particularly wrote about one woman named Lesbia, who was married, but he wrote about her in such a way that when he loved her intensely, and wrote about her in such a way that was like, wow, you really want a guy to love you that much, or or desire you that much. But then when it turned sour for him and her, and he wrote with such vitriol and such hate towards her, it, like, you could see the like extremes. And he was considered very, in some ways, very smutty, because he would write and he would say the Latin equivalent of what we would call various parts of the body, which is very like, oh my goodness. So he pushed a lot of boundaries in a lot of ways. So anyways, long story short, he's fantastic. If you can read it in English translation, I'm sure some of it will come across. That smuttiness will come across quite easily, I think. But yeah, also the way that he tried to lure his lover. Very, very good too. Anyway, that was a long answer. I I know you're not a horror fan, but if you had to pick your favorite Stephen King movie, what would it be? Ooh, good question. I don't know why, but The Langoliers scared the shit out of me. The shit. I don't know why. Why is it? What is it about the Langoliers? And I think we've talked about this, about my like thing about the Langoliers. I'm like, oh. So, anyways, going back to hold on. Going back to conspiracies, have you heard that Sir Francis Bacon was actually Shakespeare? I have not heard that. Yes, Calla, he was definitely Nautius Maximus. He was not, yeah, not very, and also if you want some real smutty stuff, you can read Marshall. Marshall wrote about, like, some of the dirtiest shit, like, for Rome, like, I don't know how he got away, and Juvenal, too. Juvenal also wrote very interesting poems about sexual acts and things, and like, I don't know how he got away with any of that at that time, but anyway. What was the reason you are not in Katy again? Sorry, I forgot. Anthony. Have you watched the documentary? Aaron, thank you. I talk about that in the documentary. Watch it. We did talk about that in Discord, I believe. Yeah. And Tommy Knocker is also very good. Yes, I agree. Xerxes, we were 10 plus years ago about Katy related band, and people are still asking why she left. I mean, you know, like I was saying earlier, I think people need to be tipped off about, like, the bands that they listened to 20 years ago or 10 years ago. I know that I do this. Like, you know, bands that I used to listen to, like, what the fuck ever happened to, I don't know, I can't even think about somebody that I've looked up recently. But then you realize that that band has put out, like, 10 records since you listened to them. So, you know, I get it why people ask, because they haven't been following me or anything that since I've left the band. So I totally get it, and it's absolutely okay that you ask that. But I definitely did the documentary for that reason, is that people would ask me all the time, like, why did you leave? I'm like, well, I talk about it in the documentary. You should watch it, because it's actually a very, very well done. I'm not just saying that because Rob is a friend. It's very well done, and yeah. You should watch it. I mean, primarily Greek epics. Yeah, okay. It's 10 o'clock! Holy shit. And JR, yes, I 100% would audition for Hamilton. Ultra Spank? What a name. But yes, I do remember Ultra Spank. But anyways, guys, I think this is a good place to stop. 3.5 hours of talking. I think I'm pretty pooped, and so is Sarge. He's ready to, well, he's always sleeping, so whatever. So I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me for so long and asking such great, insightful questions. I really enjoy doing this kind of thing. So again, if you are interested, please check out my Patreon. It's a great little community that we have going, and it really will help me, I guess, because I do have more music coming out this year in September of this year, hopefully, if I do reach my goal. And yeah, and Calla has just posted all the links there, all my Twitch as well. You guys know that I stream video games on Twitch, and most of it is patron and Twitch subscriber suggestions, whatever I stream, and sometimes I don't listen to them and do whatever I want. That's also a thing. But we have fun over there, and I'm really grateful that you came out tonight. So please check it out. Hang out in a stream tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, so thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you so very much for spending 3 hours with me. Thank you to my mods as well for helping out tonight. Really, really enjoy that. You are a part of my life. So everybody have a good night, And thank you very much for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye. I don't know how to turn this off now. Okay, I think I do. Ooh, there's my finger.